Two of the most iconic voices in golf are back to save the day and ready to entertain in their newly weekly video podcast. Kostis and McCord, off their rockers.
This is it. You found it. Kostis and McCord off their rockers, back with another great episode. Mike Abram, your co-host, producer from the Golf Agency, going to bring on Gary and Peter in just a second today. Got a great show. We're going to talk about the Tour Championship, the FedEx Cup, Scottie Scheffler's great season, and what in the heck's going on with Jay Monahan, the PGA Tour, LIV Golf. Is there ever going to be a merger? What's going on? We just got news that there's going to be a little silly season match between Brooks Koepka, Bryson DeChambeau against Rory McIlroy and Scottie Scheffler. That should be fun. We'll talk more about that in future episodes. Remember to subscribe. It's free. Like, comment, share it with all your golfing friends. Without any delay, let's get right into the show. Fellas, welcome. Gary, Peter, how are you guys doing? It's almost the end of summer, and it is the end of the official PGA Tour season. FedEx Cup done, Tour Championship done. Scottie Scheffler putting his stamp on the season of 2024. Peter, what are your thoughts about the Tour Championship and what happened and how it all ended this last few days?
Well, I think Scottie Scheffler has had an absolutely phenomenal year. I mean, the best since Tiger Woods in around 2007 or something like that, with 7 victories, Olympic gold medal. And so it's fitting. I mean, when the Tour Championship started out, Tiger was the name, and they did everything imaginable to make sure that Tiger won the FedEx Cup, because if he didn't, it was going to be considered a bogus event, right? And so they're still doing that, starting them out with a -10 and then -8 and -6 and whatever. But don't let it detract from the fact that Scottie had an absolutely phenomenal year. And, you know, but for his good boy image, his faith in God and his clean cut image, people would be going gaga over this year. But for some reason, they don't want to accept Scottie as the terrific player that he is. And that bothers me to a certain degree.
Gary, what do you think about Scheffler's play and this year and the great gold medal win, a Masters win, 7 PGA Tour wins? How does his season compare to anything else out there? Obviously, Xander Schauffele won 2 majors, but what do we think about this season for Scheffler?
Yeah, well, we're in an interesting sport. We're a third page sport. Front page of the newspaper, no. Of the sports section, no. Second, third. We're on the third page. We got to the first page when Tiger was running amok because he was bigger than the sport. He transcended the sport. And here we've got Scottie Scheffler, who's had one of the great years. Let's see, was it VJ won 9 in 1 year?
Yep.
Tiger won 9 in 1 year. And then I think 7's the next. And there sits Scottie. And it's amazing because where we are in our sport, with all the crap that's going on, this guy has one of the best years ever in the history of the sport. But he's not going to get the accolades, or he's not going to get the attention, I should say, because of everything else that's going on in this muck that we've got going now, where this sport is going. I don't think somebody'd have to have a really powerful personality and have a year like Scottie to take our sport to the front page like Tiger did and maintain it. So I think those days are gone. But the year he has had is unbelievable in this era of split tours and trying to find out who's the best. We're still kind of searching for a way to get this whole thing done to where we've got some kind of consistency in our sport. And Peter, I don't have an idea what possibly could be going on in this situation right now. And having Monahan getting up and doing nothing but vague speeches and pablum of where we are and what we're doing. I mean, I wish someone would come and ring the bell and go, okay, here's what we're going to do. Here's we've got 6 months. We're going to merge. We're going to do this. We're not going to merge. We're going to do whatever. But this vagueness that's going on now in this sport completely overshadowed Scottie Scheffler's, in my opinion, year that he had, one of the great great years in our history of basically in golf.
Well, to show you, Gary, the impact that LIV has had on the PGA Tour, my numbers may not be 100% accurate, but I believe Scottie Scheffler won approximately $65 million this year with the terrific year that he had.
Crazy.
In Jack Nicklaus's career, he won $5.8 million. Now, adjust it for inflation, and it comes up to like, I don't know, 30, 31 million for Nicklaus. So Scottie won double Nicklaus's career earnings, adjusted for inflation, just this year, right? Wow. So that's everything's been thrown out of whack, and I think in part that's one of the things that's caused people to lose interest in watching the game. It's lost a little bit of its speciality, and Monahan, you talk about the pablum from his pressers and whatnot. He got up there and he talked about the TV world and the ratings being down and all that stuff. And he says, apart from the conclusion on Sunday night, Friday afternoon's the most compelling part of the week because we have cuts. And that's what separates the PGA Tour. We have cuts. And I think to myself, well, wait a second. You got 8 signature events, 6 of which have no cut, right? And the reason they have no cut is because the sponsors want to make sure that Scottie Scheffler doesn't miss the cut and he's not around for the weekend, or whomever their favorite player is, right? So that's gone. That doesn't exist anymore. And we have a tour with, the A League and the B League. You got the top 50 playing in their signature events, and then you got the B League scrambling around to do whatever. So, I mean, it's utter chaos right now. We got to figure out a way out of this, and we got to do it soon. I think Rory was spot on when he said that you have to get a resolution to. Hi, Diane. You got to get a you got to get a resolution to this sooner rather than later, because I don't think the public's going to put up with it very much longer. In my opinion, under the believe it or not category, will it happen? Won't it happen? I think it'll never happen right now. I think we're headed toward 2 leagues. I think we're headed toward a league that's going to be primarily internationally focused. And we got obviously the PGA Tour, which is going to be domestically focused. And then maybe they'll get to play, maybe they'll figure out a way for them to play in majors and a couple other events. But I don't see this coming to a resolution anytime soon.
The business model dictates that it's absurd to think that they're playing for this kind of money, and we're averaging over 20% down across the board now this year. TV. How do you build a model that this excessive amount of money, absurd amount of money, is being thrown around? And here's a sport that's averaging a 2.4 ratings on Saturday and probably a 2.8 on Sunday. It doesn't make any sense. One rating point is 975,000. So we're talking a minimal amount of people watching, and less now are watching, according to all of the data that's coming out now. So I don't know how you maintain what we're doing.
You can't do it. You can't do it. Let's separate ourselves from golf and go to. I mean, to go to a hockey game, an NHL hockey game. I mean, it's one of the greatest sporting events there is. It's constant action. I mean, it's just up and down the ice or whatever. And these players are, for what they do, grossly underpaid. Why? Because it doesn't translate on television. They can't get TV ratings. They don't get TV income. Now we got the WNBA, and everybody's starting to talk about they should be paid the same as NBA players. No, it's justifiable by TV ratings, what you can get from television, whether you like it or not. And golf has managed to figure out a way to get way more money involved than TV revenue can possibly justify ever, right? We just
Right.
don't. The old adage of, yeah, but the few people who do watch spend a lot of money and they'll buy a Cadillac or they'll buy a this or that or whatever. No, that doesn't work anymore because there's too many avenues for advertising. So it has to be drawn back in some manner or form because it's not sustainable at this level, in my opinion. No way, no how.
Yeah, I think when you get down to what's going on, I think the simplest form is, we talked about it before, that SSG comes in with $1.5 billion and another promise of $1.5 billion or $3 billion altogether to take part in golf, so forth. And we wonder why, basically all the stuttering going on. And then the stuff that we had heard, that why would SSG come in and do it just
Right.
because like golf or something? That does make any sense, because these are the big boys. These are the guys that own the major franchises, and we keep hearing rumors, nothing but rumors, that this is nothing more than a merger of SSG and the Saudi PIF to start buying franchises all over the world with, basically in the PIF of $1 trillion, they can go and buy. The Saudis want to buy all the sports franchises, and these guys are in that business. There's something there that is working itself out, and I don't know what it is. And by the way, we also know that Monahan did work for SSG, and I believe his brother still does. So there's something there, Peter, behind that door that we don't know, and we don't know what the philosophies are, the business the business reasons for that merger.
Well, and also factor in now the fact that there's some pushback from the players advisory committee, council, whatever the hell we're calling it these days, and the word on the street is that basically it's Tiger that's slowing things down, doesn't want things to happen, and in reality doesn't want this merger to go through until his TGL league gets up and running and off the ground. That's another cog in the wheel that's kind of messing things up. So I Tiger. I've known Tiger. We basically covered his entire career. I don't know that he's ever done anything philanthropic for the PGA Tour. He's all about Tiger, and bless him for that. But I don't see him doing what's good for the greater good if it doesn't include what's good for Tiger. So we got that issue going on, and then Monahan can deflect now and say, "Well, I'm trying to get this deal done, but the players don't want it, and if it's not working for the players, then we can't do it." So it's getting messier and messier, and I just don't see a resolution. I really don't. Not at this moment.
Yeah,
Gary, do you believe the TGL has any legs? Can you foresee, believe it or not, the TGL will be successful on television?
I mean, I can't predict one way or another. When you got Tiger behind it, obviously you got a lot of power. You got a lot of showtime there, and maybe golf is now, it's focus, it's media focus. It's waning, obviously, from all the numbers we're getting, and we're getting a lot of, the YouTubers are kind of semi taking. They got their own tournament now, at tournaments. So there's a fragmentation going on in the amount of eyeballs that are on the PGA Tour actually playing golf competitively for a living. The numbers don't match what these guys are making, and YouTube is coming in, and Tiger and Rory in their TGL league. That's going to be interesting. I'm not going to say, oh yeah, it's going to work or it's not. I don't know. I don't think anybody knows. They're having trouble getting it off the ground. But therein lies, Peter, what you're talking about. This the tour and the administration. It used to be the commissioner. It used to be, when I was on the board 100 years ago, it was 3 player directors and 4 business people that were involved and made all the decisions. And now I don't know if there's any independent business people on the board. They've all quit. And now you've got basically 7 players, I believe, and Monahan running the tour. And you've got what you were talking about, Tiger. You've got guys looking out for their own hide, trying to make as much money as they can. When you have now with these tournaments that are designated, elevated tournaments, whatever you want to call them, you've really split the tour into the haves and the have-nots. I mean, really split it. So I don't know who's running the ship. These players that are playing in all these tournaments that are elevated, or it's for the betterment of the tour. It's really a sketchy time right now to find out where the leadership is and what is their end goal. Because
I think
anybody knows.
I'm going to play devil's advocate with the TGL League, and for the following reason. I think the PGA Tour runs a 72-hole event. They tee off, pick a time, 7 a.m. on Thursday morning. They go all night, all day Thursday, all day Friday. Oftentimes can't even make the cut on Friday night because of daylight or weather, whatever. Then it goes all the way. So it's 10, 12 hours a day for 4 days. People are not going to watch that. It's not going to happen. Everybody's getting more concise with their viewing, and they want things quicker, faster, easier. The only good thing that I can see with the TGL League, 2 things. Tiger doesn't have to walk, so that's not going to be an issue. And if they do it properly, let's just say they can play 18 holes or however many holes they're going to play in an hour and a half, in an hour, whatever. Edit the show, and off you go. People will tune in to watch something that has a beginning, a middle, and a conclusion in an hour and a half or 2 hours. They'll watch that. But there has to be a fundamental change in the way golf is presented on television for it to survive in the future. The way people's appetites are changing for digesting sports. You know, Major League Baseball has sped up the game. The NFL has, consolidated commercials to try and get the game in a tighter window. Everything's happening. Golf is the outlier. Golf is the dinosaur, and they've got to change. That's where LIV does have something good. They play 5 hours a day. That's it, 3 days. All right. That may not be ultimate competition for some, but at least people can tune in and know they'll see all the players. They can tune in and watch each player that they want to watch, whatever. It's over with in 5 hours and off we go. So something has to happen. Maybe the TGL League can be successful only because of that reason. I particularly don't care to watch guys play a video game of golf, but that's just me. It's a matter of figuring out if it's commercially viable or not. But something has to change. I mean, TV needs to produce a better product, a quicker product, a more consolidated version. Gone are the days of the Golf Channel being on all day long and just watching, a snooze fest of a few golf shots over 10 hours and a whole bunch of people talking about it.
Gary, Peter and I were talking just before we started here about that Creator Classic that the PGA Tour promoted so strongly last Wednesday at Eastlake, and then also conversely, Bryson DeChambeau just putting up another one of his little shows without promoting it. It was breaking the course record at a course he had never been to before. Peter, what were those numbers? The Bryson's numbers were better than the PGA Tour's number, who they were promoting so much and all over TV.
Yeah, he did over 200,000 views more than the PGA Tour had with their whole elaborate production, and that shows you what's going on with golf. I mean, people want entertainment, right? They want to be entertained, and Bryson does that. these Creator Classic guys, they were out there. I didn't watch it, so I can't say, but I imagine they were all trying to play good golf and being serious and whatnot. And it wasn't
Ish.
it wasn't entertainment. So who
Yeah,
knows?
I'm kind of involved um, as a consumer. If I watch golf now, I watch it on YouTube, and I watch the whole tournament in about right at 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And so they show all the shots that you need to see how they won. I watched Scottie. It was 10 minutes and 15 seconds was the whole recap. Watched that, got all the information, how he went and shanked and did this and did that. Okay, I'm done. I don't have to watch it for 4 hours and do it. And this is the content. I watch all these golf influencers too. I watch them play each other, watch them go to different golf courses, and they're just creating content with themselves as entertainers, as somebody you want to be part of what they're doing and watch how they grow and watch how they are now fumbling basically with content like Bryson is.
Yeah.
I'm going to get a guy. We're going to go to the front tees. We're going to break 50. And now the latest one, I'm going to go to these munis, public golf courses, and play them and see if I can break the course record on every one. He played the other day. First tee shot was in the parking lot, not out of bounds or anything. He played it from there. And it's content. It's just creating a personality. And, Peter, we did that for a long time at CBS and create that. But now it's more concise. Like you said, it's not. No one's going to sit and watch 4 hours anymore. They're just not going to do it.
They're not doing it. No.
Availability on the internet and on television through YouTube and other platforms that you can watch something that's 4 hours long in 10 minutes and get all the content you want. So there we have where we are right now in this media a web of where to go and where to get stuck.
You know what? Once Scottie Scheffler had his presser at Eastlake and basically said that he thought the format was silly. That opened up the floodgates for me, right? So he got started at 10 under.
Yeah.
Then 8 under, then 6 under, whatever. He technically he finished third without the strokes. Colin Morikawa won. But I'm saying to myself, all right, if we're going to make this entertaining and come to a conclusion, whatever, then instead of starting him out 10 under, give him 10 mulligans for the 4 days. Give the next player 8 mulligans. Give everybody in the field 2 mulligans. Just allocate them according to the year-end points. And then,
you're giving them shots anyway, right?
Yeah. And so people can then wager whether or not a player should take a mulligan. Oh, no. Replay that shot. Take a mulligan. It's entertaining. It'll get them a watch. I know it's stupid, but that's where golf is headed or needs to be headed if you want people to watch it. It's the way the game's going to grow.
Yeah, it's not anymore the money that's involved with it.
Nope.
When they started on Thanksgiving,
Skins game.
What was that called initially?
Skins game.
Skins game.
Skins game.
At that, it was so much more money than these guys were playing for. You can still remember Nicklaus throwing his putter in the air, 10,000 feet up in the ionosphere when he made that putt to win that money. Well, he's never thrown anything in the air before for a major, but he did it in that deal. And that's when the money, it was, I believe, the first one was 1983, and it was at Desert Highlands.
Correct.
And then they were going nuts. Oh my God, look what they're playing for! And now, Scottie's what's Scottie win this year? 58 million, something like that.
65.
Yeah, almost 65 million.
Nobody cares. Nobody really cares. Okay, he just won 25 million for a golf tournament, and everybody, okay, fine, okay. So we've surpassed the money. The money's, it doesn't matter now, and we're so far over our skis as far as money earned and what television rights are, and I believe the last one was right around little over $5 billion. It was from 2022 to 2030 coming up, and the tour got a lot of money. If I remember, they got something like 750 million a year off that contract, and that's the media rights. And these media rights now are really, really interesting because negotiations are going to come up here in about 3 or 4 years with all of these people involved. And I don't. You and I are talking about it, about the worth and what you're getting for your buck on the PGA Tour, and the numbers that we're dealing with. And I don't think it's going to be the same. I could be wrong, but right now, as we talk in 2024, I would have to go over that package again and take a long look if I was the investors in that thing, as far as networks and different platforms the tour consumes. It's interesting because it is fragmented now that I have no idea where it's going or how it's going to be done.
Well, it's proof, Gary, that having to bring in $1.5 billion from SSG to be able to fund the stuff that they're doing now and the payouts now, TV can no longer afford that. It's just not going to happen. I'm not going to say they're going to walk away, but their percentage of the purse that they play is going to be greatly diminished going forward. So where's that money going to come from? It has to come from someplace else. SSG, they're going to have to make money out of this deal. Who knows? But right now, I do know that it's not sustainable the way it is. And that is the biggest problem that Jay Monahan has, right? He's trying to fight fire with fire, but he doesn't have enough fire.
Yeah.
So, it's and even with LIV Golf, initially the amount of money that they paid the players and the amount of money the players were playing for was a big buzz, right? Everybody was keen to look at it, but now that's worn off as well. People, I bet you, if you ask the average fan, they don't even know that the individual winner of a LIV event gets $4 million first place. They don't care.
No,
that's they're numb to that now.
Yeah.
So now where do we go? What do we do? They got to get their asses in gear. They got to get their asses in gear, get a solution to this, bring the money back to a sustainable level, and off we go.
Yeah. You've got LIV. A lot of those contracts are going to be coming up end of the year and then the following year. You've got this TGL. Is that going to be entertaining? Is that going to be something that's going to move the needle? Obviously, Tigers move the needle. And you've got this TV contracts. Peter, you said TGL is not going to work. Gary, make a call. TGL, is it going to work? Are we going to like it or not? What do you say?
No, I didn't say it wasn't going to work. I said the only way it's going to work is if they put together, a short, concise package, and they can, on the video games, play 18 holes in an hour and a half. If they can do that and make it entertaining, it could work.
It could work.
It'll work initially because of Tiger. So everybody's going to come in and they're going to take a look and see what Tiger's got going. That's just the nature of golf now in the species, and it has been Tiger driven. Peter, with the interesting thing too, I'm just kind of thinking here. You got TGL coming up. It's going to be, everybody's insatiable to get their Tiger fix and so forth. And Tiger's going to be eligible for the Champions Tour in 2 years. So you got one product could conflict with the other one. If Tiger goes to the Champions Tour, and I've heard, again, rumors, nothing but rumors, that Tiger is going to play a full schedule. They're going to take that schedule down from what they've got now, which I think is 25 or 26 tournaments, to 15, and he's going to play in them all as part of the process of Tiger being on the board now and taking a position. And make it basically, it's going to sound like the Tiger Tour, and we'll see if people watch the Champions Tour as it evolves into, the biggest name that's ever played the game. And does that take away from TGL? If he goes over there, the eye is going over there instead of watching in a stadium. I don't know. I don't know. But initially, it'll work. Sustainability, I would have to go no on it over the next 5 years after it starts. So again, these are all guesses and all speculation.
Okay. Well, one more rumor innuendo and speculation.
I mean, we can all speculate now because
Yeah.
we're getting absolutely zilch coming out of Ponte Vedra of what's going on. I mean, literally, the players don't know. They have no idea what's going on. And I can't even imagine that this thing is not going to get volatile here pretty soon. Something has to happen. Somebody, Monahan has got to go, guys, here's what we're doing. Here's our plan. We haven't heard that at all after this, after this thing was signed. We've heard nothing, absolutely nothing. The two guys that initiated it, Jimmy Dunn, tried to get this thing resolved, and he didn't get it resolved, and he's gone. Ed Hurley, he's gone. He's already announced he's going to go in November. When his tenure's up on the tour as one of the board members. So I don't know what's going on. I really don't know what's going on, and we know enough of the players now they're involved, and when they say, you got anything? No, we don't know what's going on. It's amazing to me that something doesn't happen here in a minute. It really is.
Well, Peter, Gary, no one knows what's going on, but you guys know as much about what's going on as anybody. But I do know what's going to be coming up after a quick break. Gary will tell us about his near panic attack while filming a FootJoy commercial underwater on a special story time. But first, Coach Kostis shows you how to hit it farther by using just a hockey stick and a foam wall. Kostis and McCord, Off Their Rockers, a golf production. We'll be right back. If you love Kostis and McCord's Off Their Rockers, you're going to love one of the best deals you can find in golf. An Inside Golf membership from the team at golf.com. When you sign up today, you'll get instant access to a free year of Golf Magazine, a $20 gift card to Fairway Jockey, 1 dozen Strixon Z-Star XV golf balls. They're great. I'm playing them now. They're really good. And many, many more discounts on Golf Logics, True Spec, and Fairway Jockey products that will take your game to the next level. As an Inside Golf member, you'll have exclusive access to one-of-a-kind golf experiences like the one Gary, Peter, and I attended right before the U.S. Open at Pinehurst. Participants got to meet Peter, Gary, hang out, have dinner, have a drink, and a very special fireside chat at Donald Ross's historic cottage. If you want in on all these incredible offers and special access, sign up for Inside Golf today for the low, low price of just $39.99. Visit golf.com/subscription or click that link below for more information. Visit our website, KostisMcCord.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel or podcast, and follow us on social media at Kostis McCord Off Their Rockers.
Hello, friends. It's Jim Nance of CBS Sports, and I urge you to like and subscribe my brothers, Kostis and McCord, Off Their Rockers right now. You'll enjoy it.
Now it's time for Coach Kostis. Peter gives us some great tips to help our games.
Everybody wants to hit it farther. Everybody wants more club head speed, but how do you get it? Well, it's a combination of learning how to swing the club faster, but it's also learning how to stop your body, break your body as it were. Because if you can't slow your body down to transfer the speed to the club head, you're not going to get maximum distance. So this is a drill that I figured out years ago. I took one of my son's goalie sticks, I cut it off, and I started using a wall. And I learned how to swing the stick back and come back and hit the wall flush. And as I did that, I could start to feel my body starting to jump up and rotate, but break. And that let the whole hockey stick come flush to the wall. That's the key to maximizing your distance. Because if you come through and hit the upper part of the hockey stick first, you're not going to get maximum speed. So you don't have to have a hockey stick and a wall like this. You can use a cardboard box, you can use an impact bag, and you can use one of your golf clubs. But the key is you have to learn how to get all the way back here turned, come forward, and then learn to brake at impact. This is absolutely crucial. My body is reacting to what I want to do with this stick. And then once I get that feeling, I can take a golf club, swing it, and I'll get that same sense of clearing, rotating, and braking at impact. That's how you get the club head going faster. That's how you get the energy from your body through your arms, down the shaft to the club head. Learn how to brake your body by using a hockey stick and a foam wall.
Remember, you can watch dozens of Peter's tips from other episodes by subscribing to Off Their Rockers. It's free. And coming up, Gary's crazy story time about being stuck underwater for hours during a commercial shoot. Kostis and McCord Off Their Rockers, a golf production, is back in a minute. Kostis and McCord Off Their Rockers, a golf production, is brought to you in partnership with Golf Magazine and Golf.com. Peter Kostis and Gary McCord give their one-of-a-kind perspective featuring no filters takes, irreverent humor, and unparalleled understanding of the game. You can subscribe to Off Their Rockers for free on our YouTube channel or wherever you listen to podcasts. Kostis and McCord Off Their Rockers is made possible by the generous support of sponsors, including Foresight Sports, with the #1 launch monitor on the PGA Tour, the Quad Pro, and their amazing simulators. Kostis and McCord Off Their Rockers isn't just a copycat golf podcast. It breaks the mold, offering premium video and audio content that entertains, educates, and connects. With Peter and Gary's friends like Jim Nantz, David Faraday, and more, behind-the-scenes stories and instruction, making each episode an adventure for those who live and breathe golf. On Off Their Rockers, the future is bold, the banter is sharp, and the fairways are limitless. We hope you enjoy Kostis and McCord Off Their Rockers, a golf production. And now, our favorite time is story time. Here's Gary.
You know, YouTube is fantastic, unless you're on it. And I got a clip the other day, and my past comes up because I've been out there for 35 years working for CBS, and I've been out there for about 50 years playing. So there's a lot of really bad stuff on YouTube with me in it. And a guy sent me a clip the other day. I got laughing. It brought back some awful memories, and it's a FootJoy commercial called a Dry Joy shoe. And basically what they want to do, my agent came to me with the idea, we're going to go down to a pool. It was a very large pool in Orlando, Florida. They used to shoot some TV show about Navy SEALs in there. And the idea was I was going to be immersed in the water with shoes on and then talking to the camera underwater about how dry my feet were. Okay, great. Got enough money? Hell, I'll do anything. So I said, well, what's the circumstance? And he says, well, basically, you're going to be in a couple feet of water. You're going to have Navy SEALs there. There's 3 of them going to help you out and do the whole deal. So, okay, fine, let's sign it up. So my agent couldn't go, but he sends his daughter. And she is now, I am now her client at the deal. So we get there to this pool, and we get down and talking to the guys and everything, and the SEALs go, have you ever dove anything? Do you have any accreditation? I said, no, okay, this is going to be simple. So he says, so we go into the shallow end of the pool there, and I get in and they show me they've got the respirator thing they put in my mouth, and you breathe normally and everything else. And then we're going to be over there on the side when we do this, so you're comfortable. I'd take a breath and they'd go away, and yeah. And then, I'd stand up, and I was standing up about, shoulder high out of the water. Perfect. This is going to be simple. So we get this thing all ready to go and everything, and they come over and they put the shoes on me, the FootJoy shoes, which are made out of lead. And I went, well, that's interesting. They said, well, we want you to be able to sit, the producer now is telling me, because we got 3 cameras down there and we've got audio that I'm going to hear the director out of the speakers underwater, which I thought was cataclysmic. That was fantastic. So I go, okay, fine, and so I go and get the shoes and we got everything on. Okay, let's go. So I start to go in to the shallow end.
And the Navy SEAL grabs me by the arm and starts taking me down, sliding along the pool to the far end of the pool, which was a gigantic pool, because again, they were shooting some kind of TV series there. And it was like in the old days, a plunge. It was ginormous. And we get down there, we're crawling down there on the side, and I've got my outfit on and my lead shoes. And he goes, okay, we're gonna go down. And he says, we're gonna get used to me with the whatever they call that thing, respirator, put it in my mouth, and then, well, wait a minute now, hold it. My agent says I'm gonna be in like 3 or 4 feet of water. And I never forget, the Navy SEAL looked at me and goes, well, he lied. I said, they all do, they all lie. So I went, okay, fine, what are we gonna do now? Because here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go down, boom, we're gonna sit there, you know your lines. I'm gonna come in with the respirator, I'm gonna go like this, put in your mouth. I'm gonna swim off here, you gotta give me a couple seconds. And he says, because we need the bubbles out of there, and then you're gonna say your lines, the director, you'll hear him go. Let's go, let's try it. So I get down there, and we go down, and we go down, and we go down, and I plop on the bottom, and I am 22 feet below the surface of the water. And I have lead shoes on. And I just met a gentleman, Navy SEAL, trust him to the end of my days, but I have no idea what his agenda is. So we start this thing, and now I'm a little claustrophobic. I'm sitting there and I'm waiting, I'm hearing guys underwater, which is amazing. Camera's there, camera's over here. So they go, okay, Gary, go. And so the guy goes, okay, hold on, Gary, take a deep breath. Now, hold on. And he swims off. Navy SEAL swims off. Camera, action. I go, blah, 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 blah. And you got to say it really loud because they yelled at me for a while. And I'd say it and I'm out of breath. And he is 30 feet away. So the first time that happened, I panicked and I tried to leave the bottom of the pool, but I got lead shoes on, lead FootJoy shoes. Okay, they don't make those, by the way, for golf. So I try to get up, and the signal is like this. I want up. So the Navy SEAL grabbed me, and we go to the top, and I get on the side of the pool, and I go, I can't do it. I can't do it. I said, that was absolutely frightening. He goes, Gary, it'll be fine. So he finally talked me down. I went down and did it again. And I panicked again. I need to get up good, because you can't, when there's nobody around you and you're out of breath, the first thing, it's fight or flight, and you are gonna go straight up, and you can't push off the bottom of the pool. And my guy's over there hiding behind a camera over there somewhere with my oxygen. So anyway, I was in that pool and got it done for 7.5 hours. I never left the bottom of the pool. I finally just went, I did the whole Zen thing, like, okay, I don't think I'm gonna die. Let's do it, we'll do it right. And we're down there, then they gotta shoot 3 cameras. You got a POV camera, then you got, when you're talking, there's a couple other guys in there I was talking to about the round and everything. But every time I go underwater, I think of that commercial and the heaviest FootJoy, DryJoy shoes in the history of golf. They should be somewhere in the Golf Hall of Fame, embedded on the bottom of a pool somewhere, because it was frightening. And that's me, I'm a little bit of a wimp. Anyway, I wish my buddies would quit looking at YouTube. They're killing me with this stuff.
Thanks so much for watching Kostis and McCord Off Their Rockers, a golf production today. Remember to like, subscribe, and share this with your golfing buddies, and hit that notification button right below so you never miss an episode. We're going to be back with a lot more very soon. We're going to talk about this new silly season event, Bryson and Brooksy versus Rory and Scottie. This should be a lot of fun. If you love golf, you're going to love your Inside Golf subscription. There's a special offer right here to take advantage of. For Peter, for Gary, I'm Mike Abram. We'll be back with another episode of Kostis and McCord Off Their Rockers very soon.